Hey guys, I'm back with another weight loss video. In this video, I'm gonna look back, trace my steps, and go over the habits that made me gain weight in the first place, okay? So first and foremost, you already know on my channel, we are accountable. I'm not blaming anyone besides myself, that fork, and the food, because that's ultimately what it comes down to, and the lack of exercise, right? But I do feel like certain influences over your life can kind of cause you to gain weight, honestly. So we're going to talk about it in this video. And so I thought about it and I thought it would be cool to hold myself accountable and just look back. Let me self-reflect and go over the habits that led me to gain weight. So that way you won't do the same thing. You don't want to have to learn through experience. Smart people learn through other people's mistakes. So let's get into it. Okay, so I noticed that a bad habit that I used to do, I never would prepare meals properly. So I was the type to grab little stuff all throughout the day. And the thing about that is it's dangerous because that way of eating catches up to you. So for example, like I said, I was a graze eater. I would just frequent the fridge all throughout the day and then take tiny bites of everything. It didn't matter. I would eat the most randomest things, take 3 bites of cheese, close the refrigerator, grab a handful of chips, another handful of chips, another I just did not eat properly. So now I don't do that anymore. I completely got rid of that habit. And like I said in the other videos, when I'm ready to eat, I will turn on the stove and fix me an organized meal. Okay, so getting organized is a skinny girl habit. Okay, that's what slim people do. Big people eat mindlessly all throughout the day. They're not aware of what's going on. They're just putting things in their mouth. That's how I used to eat. So honestly, I learned how to cook when I went on my weight loss journey. When you go on a weight loss journey, it's like you're forced to learn how to cook because you can't eat like that when you're trying to lose weight. You start to get very educated on foods. So going on a weight loss journey is going to force you to learn how to cook. So now when I'm hungry, I cook a meal. I'm just more organized, basically. So that was one habit that had me gaining weight. Not being organized with my eating, not meal prepping, just eating without thought. I would pretty much eat out of boredom, okay? Just all throughout the day. Those calories add up. So yes, I ate bird portions and you might feel yeah, I'm eating a small amount. No, that adds up. Okay, so now this is what caused me to put on extra weight in college. Hanging around big people. I repeat, hanging around big people. Now, you guys know my name is Blunt Girly. I'm here to keep it all the way real, okay? I would be a liar if I did not bring this up. And I'm not trying to discriminate. I'm not saying bigger people shouldn't have friends, but you cannot deny the fact, because if you look this up, it's on Google. If you hang around obese people, you are going to pick up their eating habits, and it's a high chance that you will become obese yourself. And that is exactly what caused me to gain weight after college. So, of course, I'm still accountable, Nobody told me to put the food in my mouth. I used to hang around this guy. He was my friend or whatever. And he looked to be about 400 pounds, 404 something. He was huge. He had diabetes and his eating habits were horrible. Everything that he put in his mouth was fried food, and he was a really good cook. And so he liked to cook for me. So he would make me these gigantic plates. He would feed me the way he was feeding himself. And so that's what caused me to gain weight. Now, I'm not putting the blame on him. I'm fully accountable for my own life, but that influenced me to gain weight. Because at the time, I had never ate like that in my life until I started hanging out with him. He literally would give me 2 different plates of food at once, just for dinner. And it would be fried, processed, just all types of butter, oil, nothing fresh on the plate. If it was a vegetable, it would be in a can, which canned vegetables are not the best. Do I still eat it? Yeah, in moderation, but you want to really go for fresh foods. I know canned vegetables are reliable because they last long. That's why sometimes I buy it, but fresh foods are just better. Canned vegetables are very processed and it has a lot of sodium, which causes you to gain weight. So yeah, hanging around him had me pick up his habits, and boy, I put on weight quick. That little 20-30 pounds that I gained after college, during college years, that was gained quick messing around with him. Thank God I caught myself. I only hung around him for like a month or two. And that's how quickly, with his portions and picking up his bad habits, that's how quickly I put on the weight. Now, can you imagine if I hung out with him for years? I would probably be on my 600-pound life. I don't think I would let myself get to that point, but you get what I'm trying to say. So a lot of what I'm saying, you can literally Google it. And in fact, in all my videos, if I'm talking about things that are facts, I put the information up on the screen. So take a look at the screen and like the statistics that I put up on the screen. I think it was a saying, like if you hang out with 2 obese people, you're going to become the 3rd one. So that is the main thing that caused me to put on a lot of extra weight, hanging around obese people. Also, at that time, I didn't have enough slim friends. When you're around slim people, their presence is inspiring, okay? And how do I know this? I know this because now that I am slim today, I'm a dress size 00. Everyone that hangs around me, it's like I'm contagious to people that spend a lot of time with me. Eventually, they end up picking up my good eating habits, my lifestyle. They start going to the gym more. They start watching what they're eating more. And so me being a slim woman today, I have caused people in my life to lose weight just by being friends with me. Yes, I had a partner in the past that lost about 30 pounds just from hanging out with me and like doing my little habits and copying me, because you are your environment. Why do people in New York have accents? Because it's an undeniable truth. This is in psychology. Your environment molds who you are. So if you're around slim people, it is inevitable that eventually you'll slightly pick up their habits. But what I notice is by people hanging out with me, I have caused them to freaking lose weight. And these aren't people that are intentionally trying to go on a weight loss journey. It's just they'll look at what I'm doing. For example, you guys know I don't drink my calories. I don't drink soda at all. So I'm always going for like the 0-calorie drinks. And I had a partner where all he would drink was soda at first. And so if all you drink is soda, and say you're a bigger person and you're hanging around a slim person and they're drinking 0-calorie drinks, it's almost inevitable that you're kind of going to feel some shame, or you're going to get inspired by what they're doing and kind of copy them and mimic them. So he would mimic me. He had slowly copied me, and then over time, now all he drinks is sugar-free drinks, 0-calorie drinks. And by him making that tiny change in his life slowly, it caused him to lose 30 pounds. It's slow changes over time. You never want to do things overnight, because if you got to the point where you're morbidly obese, that is a food addiction. And with all addictions, you can't stop it abruptly overnight, because with all addictions, when you do that, you're going to have withdrawals. And that's how we get into like the binge restrict cycle. So your best bet, just slowly over time, cut out those bad habits, basically. That will do you more just. You won't withdraw and gain the weight back. So if you want to lose weight, if you want to stay slim, go hang out with slim people. I know that sounds bad. You have to understand that when I talk, I'm just talking logically, okay? Logically, what I'm saying, statistically, what I'm saying, if you look at the data, it makes sense. So during that time, I had no slim people around. Everyone around me was big, okay? My best friend at the time, the guy friend was huge. You know, everyone around me was just big. And so that's all I knew. I was very uneducated at that time. I was really young, so it was more like a you don't know what you don't know type of thing. But when you're older, it's just no excuses at that point. Like, I show the younger crowd a lot of grace. Another thing that caused me to kind of put on weight was moving to the Black community. So as I've said before, I grew up originally in a city that had a population of 3% of Black people, which is basically what that means. Let me translate that percentage. Yeah, it was basically no Black people. And the amount of Black people everywhere I went, like for example, in my school, it was probably 4, 5 Black people out of the entire school. Okay. So with that being said, I grew up around people that were very slim. That was the beauty standard in that community. And so when I moved to the Black community, I experienced a huge culture shock. One thing that I'll say about the Black community is that they live their life backwards. So when I was in the non-Black community, I was considered a little bit thicker, on the thicker side, right? Now I'm talking about middle school, okay? When I went to the Black community, people were calling me skinny. And I was like, I'm skinny? I was just so confused. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was kind of a little bit overweight. I definitely was not like chubby or anything like that. I just was a little thicker. But when you're in a non-Black community, it's no thick. Thick doesn't exist. It's either you're slim or you're not. So I was in the not category. But then when I moved to the Black community, even though I had a little bit of extra weight on me during that time, they were calling me slim. So I think over the years that kind of pressured me to put on weight and become a little bit more thicker just naturally, because, you know, what do I know in middle school? You know, you're very, what's the word? Impressionable when you're that young. And so my environment, the beauty standard in the Black community is to be thick. And so I think over the years that kind of influenced me to gain weight. So you got to be careful with living in the Black community. If you're trying to stay slim in the Black community, you're going to have to accept the fact that you will be a black sheep. You will be the odd one out. Okay. It is what it is. Like, you know, I just walked the city today. Everyone walking by is morbidly obese. Okay. They're thick, they're morbidly obese. But like slim people like me, it's so rare to the point where when I do see a slim woman in the city, which is like a predominantly Black city, I like stare at her. I notice them more. If you live in a Black city, you're going to have to accept the fact that, you know, the comments will never stop. You unfortunately won't really be the beauty standard in the Black community. And that's okay, because worldwide, you're the beauty standard. Okay. So yeah. And then what also caused me to gain weight was just not being educated on nutrition. First of all, let's talk about nutrition labels. So you have to turn the item over, and just like what I have on the screen, you know that little barcode stuff and it looks like gibberish? So I actually took a nutrition course and they taught us how to read everything on that. At first, that stuff used to look like gibberish to me, okay? Now I know exactly what I'm consuming. So I advise everyone, if you want to get into nutrition and learning about foods, go ahead and go to a community college and take a nutrition class. I mean, that class was honestly life-changing for me. Everyone that is on a weight loss journey needs to take a nutrition course, okay? That taught me so much. That course is the reason why I'm able to come on YouTube and confidently give knowledgeable information on how to lose weight. I don't even tell you guys to do anything unhealthy. Like, I don't believe in like, you know, like being so restrictive and cutting out food groups. I think that's unnecessary. I think that all food groups are good for your body. They all supply different vitamins and nutrients. But see, I wouldn't have known that hadn't I took my nutritional class. If you're trying to stay slim, you have to be educated on nutrition. That's not an option, because it's so many things that it's like an oh wow moment once you start learning about it. Like, for example, did you know that peanut butter, it's pretty high in calories? You know, people aren't really aware of that when they're eating it. Another thing that's a little bit high in calories are smoothies. That's a great example. And I drink smoothies. I'm all for smoothies, but you cannot deny that a lot of smoothies are very high in calories. But because it's smoothies, people think that they are like, I know that a lot of bigger people, they tend to think that like, oh, if you drink smoothies, eat salads, and an apple or whatever, that's going to cause you to lose weight. It's really all about the calories. If I'm being 100% blunt with you guys, it's really the calories. And a lot of salads are extremely high in calories. If you go to a restaurant, some salads are like 2,000 calories. So it's just very important that you educate yourself. You know what calories are. You can read the menu and understand, like, okay, this item has 2,000 calories. This item has 3,000 calories. I think that it is nearly impossible to lose weight without at least a little bit of nutritional education. So reading food labels, understanding calories in food items, understanding what foods does what. So I'm such an expert when it comes to foods. Even when it's my period, I know what to eat around my period to stop sugar cravings. So when my period comes, I make sure I eat salmon, spinach, oatmeal, peanut butter. I'm very educated on like vitamins and stuff like that, because every food does something different for your body. If you have a headache, I already know in my head, drink electrolytes. If you have high sugar cravings, it's because you're lacking magnesium in your diet. So knowledge is power. And the more health knowledge you have, the more powerful you are, because you're really just in control of your body. You don't let food control you. You control the food when you have education on nutrition. So that is like detrimental. And yes, growing up would cause me to just kind of ignorantly gain weight over the years. Is I knew zero. Like, I mean, when I say I had to start from scratch, I knew nothing about nutrition, nothing. A lot of the labels too, they trick you. So you'll think you're drinking like some fruit juice. The whole time you're just drinking a big bottle of sugar. So you need to know how to read those ingredients, and you need to know what you're getting into, because a lot of products in America have added unnecessary sugars in it. Okay, so another bad habit that led to my demise, which is me gaining some extra weight. You know how when you're in high school, for the most part, you pretty much can eat whatever you want and stay somewhat slim. Like, you can get away with a lot when you're a teenager. So I did, especially paired with me being active. My metabolism was super fast and stuff like that. Oh, I was getting away with a lot. My diet was insane in high school. Okay, so I told you guys I was on like the thicker, athletic, muscular side. So I weighed a bit extra and stuff like that. Okay, so the problem was that I continued to eat like that well after high school, and that's really also what really led to me gaining weight. I'm telling you, almost every woman gains weight after high school because you don't think to change your eating habits until the weight creeps up on you. So if you're eating crazy and you're still kind of somewhat, you look decent, you know, you're not even going to think to change your habits. Just, you're not, especially paired with you being young and you don't know what you don't know. So that's kind of was the situation for me. I was still eating like a teen, and I told you guys in my second round of puberty video where I talked about so the reason why you gain weight after high school is because, you know, things change, of course. I think for some people, yes, your metabolism does kind of slow down as you get older, but also you're less active. So for me, after high school, I was not as active at all, like at all. And so, yeah, me being less active and still eating crazy definitely was one of the bad habits that caused me to gain those extra pounds. So to any high schooler listening to this, start considering eating more disciplined. If I'm describing you and you like to eat like hot Cheetos and all this crazy stuff, steak fries and stuff like that every day and take out every day, you really need to consider being more mindful as you get older, okay? Because if you start young, you have an advantage on a lot of people, honestly. Another bad habit that led me to put on some extra weight was the fact that my diet back then mainly consists of processed foods. And this is very common, especially if you're in the Black community. Many Black households have a bunch of BS in their home. It's just the truth. It's a matter of fact for the majority. So growing up, typical Black household, you grew up on a bunch of ramen noodles, chips, candy, sweets, snacks. And the problem with this is that there's no nutritional value in anything that I just said. So I'll put examples on the screen of what I'm talking about. Okay, does this look familiar to you? Okay, yeah. So the purpose of eating is to provide your body with nutrients and vitamins to function. That's it. And the problem with these types of foods is that it's fake. It's made in a factory, basically. And you're just eating for no reason. And so the reason why it makes you gain weight is because when you eat real whole foods, you'll notice that it makes you fuller faster. You feel more satisfied. But when you eat these foods, like bubblegum foods, that's what I'm going to call it. When you eat fake processed foods, you'll notice that you keep eating more and more and more and more because it does not keep you satisfied. It doesn't fill you up. It sets you up in this trap to continuously eat it, which means you're eating a bunch of calories, empty calories at that. And you're going to gain weight. The only purpose that these foods serve, processed foods serve, is the fact that it tastes good. That's it. It does nothing else for your body. In fact, a lot of it destroys your body because it has a lot of sugar, bad ingredients. Like, I don't eat that stuff anymore at all. I do not eat that anymore. My entire diet now, today, now that I'm slim, I only eat whole, like, raw foods and stuff like that. Real foods gets the job done. Food is for fuel. It's to give you energy. It's to help you function. So just imagine if all you're eating is processed foods, your body is not functioning properly. You are dysregulated. Everything is dysregulated. And yeah, so it's to the point, like, honestly, I can honestly say I don't even eat fast food. At most, I'll get takeout from restaurants that serve real food, but I don't eat fake food at all. I don't drink soda at all. It's not even in my vocabulary anymore, that stuff, because it's no point. Like, for me, if I am going to have a day where, I don't know, I'm just less strict on my diet or whatever, I would prefer to literally go out to eat at a restaurant, you know, or get takeout. But like McDonald's and all this other like processed stuff that is just you eat it and then you're back hungry in 10 minutes, I'm good. I'm cool off that. I do not need that in my life. But before, those are the things that cause me to gain weight because it does not satisfy you. So, for example, with McDonald's, the average McDonald's order literally is about 1,300 calories, okay? You eat that and then you're back hungry in 15 minutes. You go grab some more processed food. You're back hungry in 15 minutes. You eat more processed food. You're back hungry in 15 minutes. Next thing you know, you looked up in a day, without you being aware, you have consumed probably 5,000 calories. Yes, that's what processed food will do to you. Those calories, it will get you fast. That's the quickest way to gain weight. But see, you can't do that with whole foods because it's kind of harder to binge on whole real foods because it fills you up faster. It's too many vitamins. It's too many nutrients. You're going to feel that. You're going to want to go to the bathroom. I would say another thing that led me to gain weight was when my dress sizes and my clothing sizes would go up. And keep in mind, I was very young at this time, so I really just didn't know anything about like fitness or anything like that. So it's easy to become ignorant to these things. But like I said, anyways, as my dress sizes would go up, I was very in denial. So I think I would say during the duration of my life, I wore like a medium for the most part back then. I'm an extra small today, but back then I was a medium and I kind of crept up slowly to like an extra large at most. That was like my highest size, extra large. Yeah, like about an extra large. And I just remember that I was very in denial. Like, I knew the sizes was going up, but I just thought maybe they're making the clothes smaller. Like, instead of realizing that it's me that's getting bigger, blame it on the clothes. Do you see why now that I'm out of that cycle and mentality, my channel is like extreme accountability? Because I don't want that for people. I don't want people to live a delusional life like that. Like, it was clearly me gaining weight. During my life, I just never cared about my body. It wasn't a concern because, like I said, during most of my life, I already had like a very toned, Yes, a little bit thicker, but it was like athletic. So genetics was kind of on my side until it wasn't. And when it wasn't, that's when I started to show concern about my body. I think that everyone should be at least a little bit aware of their body, and I wasn't. So that's why I just really did not realize that I was gaining weight, because I just didn't care. I never weighed myself. I just thought, oh, maybe the clothes are just getting smaller these days. So yeah, if you notice that your dress size is going up, that directly means you are getting bigger. There's no other meaning to it. And I know that's common sense. A lot of the things that I'm saying are common sense, but like I say, obese people live in a different reality. So you have to kind of break common sense down to them in a way where they'll understand. Because when you're obese, when you look in the mirror, you live your life in denial. That's the reality of it. So yeah, if your dress size is going up, take immediate action. Don't let it go up and up and up and up and up and then take action. For example, I don't know, I wear like an extra small. As soon as that starts to feel tight, oh, immediate action. Be on it, be on top of it. Don't let yourself, if you are used to wearing like an extra small, like don't let yourself get all the way up to an extra large and then take action. No, take action when you get to like a medium. It depends on your goals, but you know, I'm just giving an example, okay? Whatever your goal is, if you prefer to be a size medium or whatever, stay a medium. So make sure you are aware and monitoring your body. I was not, so that was a habit that led me to gain weight. All right, guys, I am done with this conversation. So apparently people love my weight loss topics. That's why I keep doing videos. I have so much to say, so many interesting conversations. I think in the next video, you guys know, I'm very blunt. You know, this isn't a cookie cutter channel. So I was thinking in my next video, I wanted to discuss how men treat bigger girls, specifically men in California, because I grew up there and I know some stuff. Okay, I know some inside information, and I was gonna really dissect that. So I might do that in the next video. So yeah, a lot of people, like, my weight loss topics are heavily requested on my channel now. One of my weight loss videos that I just posted, literally probably the other week, it has 23,000 views right now. That is amazing. That's incredible. So a lot of people are coming to my page to hear my little conversations and chats and stuff, which is great, because I don't see any other YouTuber doing what I'm doing. You know, like, yeah, sure, we can talk about counting calories all day, but let's like really get into it. Let's get into the psychology, how people treat you, the excuses. Like, let's really talk about it. And I think that my channel does a great job at doing that. So yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you check my weight loss playlist. That's where I have all the videos organized on my channel. And yeah, keep giving me video recommendations. I take them into consideration, and I'm so sorry for all the background noise. This is the best I can do, okay? All right, I'll catch you guys soon. Bye.